Hello, welcome back to Moonlit Path Tarot. So today I'm not really sure what the reading's going to be about. I think we'll just do a past, present, future and see what's going on with you guys because I don't really have anything specific. So let's see. Spirit for the collective, please tell me about their recent past. Let's go the last year. I usually do 6 months, but let's go the collective's past for the last year. What does the last year look like for the collective? Okay, death, rebirth, Scorpio. So something came to an end, so something new can begin. What else? Tell me a little bit more about the last year for the collective, please. 2 more for the past year for the collective, please. Thank you. Okay. So something came to an end, so something new could begin. And then we have death, 8 of Pentacles, and Hermit. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. So it looks like for the past year, don't worry, we'll get clarifiers for all of these, but it looks like for the past year, something came to an end, so something new could begin. Looks like you were in the process of working very hard on something and kind of just keeping to yourself. Because the Hermit is all about intentionally withdrawing your energy, going within, and just kind of being on your own, sticking to yourself, right? It's like hermiting away from the world. So I want to get some clarifiers. Tell me a little bit about the death and rebirth, Spirit. What came to an end for the collective in the past year? What was it that came to an end in the past year for the collective, please? I don't want to take 2. So, okay. 3 of Cups, some kind of celebration. 2 of Wands, a card of travel. Do you stay in your comfort zone or do you venture out and see what else the world has to offer? But I just want 1. Just 1, please, for the death and rebirth. Please clarify the death and rebirth. Just 1 card, please. Just 1. Well, all right. This might not be the deck. Hold on. Let me get this deck. All right, Spirit, for the collective, please clarify the death and rebirth card for me. Thank you. Okay, so something came to an end, so something new could begin. And it looks like what the something new, it's not really so much letting me know exactly what came to an end. It could have been a relationship, it could have been a job, it could have been a home, it could have been a lease, could have been everything or anything. It's different for everyone. So something came to an end, so something new could begin. And whatever this new thing is, it looks like you're very passionate about it. You're taking inspired action towards your goals and dreams, and it looks like you were working very hard on them. So tell me about, clarify the 8 of Pentacles, please. Thank you. Okay, yeah, exactly. So I just said taking action towards your goals and towards your dreams, right? Something you were working very hard on, clarified by the 3 of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, which is planning for the future. It's looking ahead, right? Not looking back to the past on things that happened, but it's literally planning for your future. And it looks like you were working very hard on that in the recent past within the last year. So tell me a little bit about the Hermit energy. Clarify the Hermit energy for the collective, please. Okay, well, like I said, I don't love to take 2, but again, death and rebirth. Something came to an end, so something new could begin. And whatever the thing that came to an end was something that was no longer emotionally fulfilling to you. It could have been a relationship, like I said. A relationship could have come to an end because it was no longer for your highest good, or it was no longer emotionally fulfilling to you, right? So instead of kind of like focusing on what came to an end, you just walked away from it. Ooh, my ear is ringing, so that's going to be a sign for somebody. Your ears might be ringing. People might be talking about you or listening in on you or, wanting to know about you, right? So like I said, it could have been a relationship, could have been a job, but something came to an end, so something new could begin. And whatever it is that ended was something that was no longer emotionally fulfilling to you and no longer for your highest good. Whether that was a relationship, like I said, a place to live, a friendship, toxic family, whatever that looks like for you. So tell me a little bit about the collective's current energy, please. Tell me about their current energy. Thank you. Okay. So I don't love this, but honestly, with things coming to an end and you walking away from something, right? That's going to be hard. That's not something that's easy to do. So 5 of Wands is kind of like my struggle bus card, right? It's like clawing your way up from the bottom. It's like competition, it's rivalry, but it's competition that can turn ugly really fucking fast. So in your current energy, you might be feeling like you have competition with other people, or you might just kind of be trying to claw your way up from whatever this thing was that came to an end. But again, we'll get clarifiers for this because, I don't know. I'm just getting not so much struggle, but more competition and rivalry. I'm not really sure why though, we'll clarify. So please tell me a little bit more about the collective's current energy. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so like this thing that came to an end in the past could have been a relationship, because Six of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, this is air energy, which is moving on, right? It's a card of transition. It's accepting help. It's usually moving on from a relationship, but it's basically moving out of stormy weather into calmer waters. It's like coming out of the choppy, like crazy waters into this like calm, smooth, like glass, right? So this is, like I said, the struggle card. This is the competition, the rivalry card. And it looks like in your current energy, you're moving on from this, because this is struggling. This is like having a hard time, but you are moving forward. You're transitioning away from the thing that ended in the past. And then bottom of the deck, the Chariot, which is Cancer, which is overcoming obstacles through sheer determination and willpower, right? It has nothing to do with luck. It has nothing to do really with being in the right place at the right time. This is just you deciding you are getting through this no matter what it takes, essentially. So give me one more for the collective's current energy. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Right. So I actually really love this. So what you're doing here is rushing towards success. This is a very quick, fast moving energy, right? It's a card of haste. It's a card of things happening around you very, very fast. And like I said, rushing towards success. So in this current energy, we have struggle, competition, rivalry, things turning ugly. We have you moving away from that, transitioning out of this energy, accepting help from other people, moving on from the past and rushing towards your successful future. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands, which is the spark of passion, right? Somebody new could have caught your eye. You could be looking at somebody new. Or this could just be about a creative new idea you have, especially one that could make you money for the future. Or this is just some kind of new beginning that you're getting ready to have, because aces are always about new beginnings. So tell me a little bit about the Five of Wands. Clarify the Five of Wands for the collective's current energy, please. Clarify the Five of Wands. Ooh, no, that's too many. I don't really like doing that. But you know what? We'll take it anyway. That's fine, because it does make sense to me. Bottom of the deck, we have Six of Pentacles, reciprocity, and equal give and take. So the Five of Wands, we have you seeking a balance, right? Two of Pentacles, which is earth energy, which is I need to find a balance, whether that be a balance in your finances and your spirituality, or your like logic and your intuition, right? It's like not making too many decisions with your head or your heart. It's like kind of trying to find the balance between both. This also means balance. So you're coming out of the struggling competition, rivalry energy. You're becoming more balanced. And then Pisces, you are gaining a different perspective. So it looks like whatever you've gone through in the past, whatever it is you're moving away from, whatever like tumultuous energy you're kind of moving on from, you're gaining a different perspective about why it had to happen in the first place, right? Because everything happens for a reason. I know some people don't like to hear that, but it's true. It does, right? Everything happens for a reason. So think about like life, right? Everybody has certain things in life that they have to go through that are just non-negotiables. Everybody's here to learn a lesson, right? Earth is it's a school. We're here to like learn our lessons and balance and work out our karma. But think of life as a house, right? Houses have blueprints, right? Houses have to have doors. They have to have windows. They have to have, certain things. Those are requirements. Like think of your life as the house. They have certain requirements. But what type of windows is totally up to you. It could be a dilapidated, broken, nasty, disgusting window that's never cleaned, or it can be a beautiful French window, right? Or instead of a disgusting, broken, wooden, plywood door, you could have a really pretty glass French door. It depends on you. It depends on how you choose to see it and what you choose to do with the tools you're given, right? So I'm getting more of this energy that I had yesterday during this reading, this like trying to catch my breath. I kind of feel like, there's a lot going on, and it really happens. And it happened when this card came out yesterday too. As soon as this card comes out, my breath starts to get like I've been running, right? That's how it feels. So like I said, everybody's got like lessons that they have to learn, but whatever those lessons are. You can view them a certain way. So you can look at your life as this broken down, disgusting house that is never gonna, be beautiful. And it won't be, because you're not doing anything to fix it. You're not doing anything to shape it to be the way you want, right? So with the things that are happening in the past, you're gaining a new perspective, right? You're starting to understand that the house can look the way you want it to, if that makes sense. So tell me about the Six of Swords for the collective, right? Tell me about the Six of Swords and what they're moving on from in their current energy. Ooh, okay. Okay. Accepting help, moving forward, but you may feel overwhelmed. You may feel like, oh my gosh, bottom of the deck, Six of Swords. So, okay, double confirmation. You could be a Gemini. Anytime I get double cards like this, like death and rebirth, Six of Swords, it's like twin energy, so you might be a Gemini. So, Six of Swords, moving on from like a relationship or tumultuous energy, and now you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like you're not sure which direction to head in, you're not sure what to choose, but you do have options and you do have choices. And it looks like you're getting ready to take a giant leap of faith towards those choices. This is Aquarius's energy, the Fool. So the Fool is all about taking a leap of faith and not knowing the outcome, right? But just trusting ourselves. It's trusting our intuition, and it's also a brand new beginning. So you have a new beginning, you have a new beginning, you have a new beginning, you have a new beginning. You have like several new beginning cards, which is awesome. So I keep seeing this like vision of the house, right? Like maybe you used to look at the house, your life, as kind of like broken or kind of like not the way you want it to be, but now you're gaining a different perspective that, I can make this house look the way I want. This is my life. It looks the way that I want it to, based on the way that I shape it, based on the manifestations that I'm putting out there, right? So it looks like you're getting ready to manifest something huge, because this also is like secrets of the universe, right? It's having hidden information. So something is about to be revealed to you, and you're about to take a giant leap of faith, and you're getting ready to make some kind of decision. Even though you might feel like you have a lot of options, or you might feel overwhelmed by your options, you're still gonna trust your intuition and take a leap of faith anyways. So tell me about the Knight of Swords and the collective's current energy. Okay. So Knight of Swords. So, okay, bottom of the deck. So what I'll say about the Devil, right, which is Capricorn's energy, is just watch out, be careful. Be careful for any toxicity, watch out for anybody's negative behaviors or negative patterns or just addictions or just things that aren't good for you, right? But this can also talk about like a sexual attraction, chemistry, an obsession. So just be careful with the obsession energy. However, Knight of Swords, we have King of Swords, which again, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. So you might be a Gemini because I'm getting a lot of twin energy in here. But King of Swords, so you're rushing towards success. This is a very fast moving energy. You're staying brave, you're staying courageous, you're staying strong. The King of Swords is also somebody who can be considered kind of blunt, a little bit cold, because he's not somebody that will really go back and forth with you, and he's not someone that's very emotional, right? However, then again, we have the King of Pentacles. So you have so much King energy right now. So you are taking whatever happened in the past and you're literally transforming it, right? Because with the death and rebirth, it doesn't always mean people are literally dying. Depending on the surrounding cards, it can. But death and rebirth, people and things never die, right? Energy never dies. It transfers, it transforms. So you're taking this energy from the past, you're working hard to transform it in your current energy. So maybe you're coming out of your shell a little bit. Maybe you're kind of somebody who isn't, super like social or super talkative, or maybe somebody who is just not, because there's certain people who love to talk, right? And then there's certain people who only speak when they feel it's necessary. So maybe you're taking yourself out of this, like, I'm only speaking when I feel it's necessary, to just kind of being more open, more like warm, if that makes sense, because he's kind of cold and cut off, and he's very warm, loving, kind, generous, wealthy, right? So you're rushing towards success. You are staying brave and courageous and strong throughout this whole current energy, and you are investing in yourself and you're working on your finances, right? Because the King of Pentacles is also somebody who's very wealthy, somebody who has money, and somebody who knows how to invest in themselves. So that's what you're doing in this current energy, which I love. All right, tell me about the collective's future. Let's go the next year. We did the past for a year. Let's go the next year for the collective. Okay, Knight of Pentacles, Earth energy. 2 more, please. Thank you. No, that's too many. I just want two. Just two, thank you. Okay, well, this did come in reverse, so we'll take it that way. Okay. You know what? Should I? I don't know. I'm being told to take this one out. Ah! Okay. Let me just redo these last two. I do like this Wounded Warrior, but I'm for some reason, yeah, there we go. I'm for some reason being told to keep it out. Okay. Because you can read it in reverse, and normally I would. I don't typically, but sometimes I get intuitively called to read it in reverse, but I'm just like being told put it back, not that one. So, again, remember when I said you might be a Gemini? Well, you might be a Gemini. This is literally Gemini's card. Twin, 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 twin. We have so much twin energy, and then I'm intuitively being told to put back the Four of Cups, and the Gemini card comes flying out. Okay, love that for you. So, you might be a Gemini. So in the next year, we have slow and steady progress. We have the Lovers, which is well, if you are a Gemini, this is your card. And then Nine of Wands, which is the Wounded Warrior, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay. So this is slow and steady progress. You might be meeting somebody new. This is the Twin Flame card. Gemini's card is a Twin Flame card. It's the Lovers, right? It's like, there's two Twin Flame cards. There's the 1111, the Four of Wands, and then there's this one, and then there's the Soulmate. However, it looks like you are moving slowly and steadily towards either a relationship. This is a romantic relationship, and this is kind of like the Wounded Warrior card. So what I'll say with this is, if you are headed towards a romantic relationship, just remember to keep your heart open, right? Try not to punish new people for the mistakes of past people, if that makes sense, because she's very guarded. She's not completely blocked off, but she is side-eyeing, right? Like, I've been through so much in the past that I don't necessarily know if I trust you. And what I'll say about that is, don't go into relationships like that. It's one thing to know that you have boundaries because of things that happened to you in the past, but don't, like I said, punish new people for things old people did. That's not their burden to carry, right? So it's very much, I will trust you until you give me a reason not to, right? Instead of, you have to prove to me off the bat that I can trust you. It's, I will trust you until you prove to me I can't, right? So that's with this energy, this guarded Wounded Warrior card. Just kind of go into, if you do meet somebody new, go into it like that. Like, I trust you until you give me a reason not to. That's a good way to look at that, right? So this may not be a relationship though, although it is very relationship coded. This could be about a job, right? Because this also talks about slow and steady progress, but it's pentacles, it's expansion, it's growth, it's building. So you might be building or expanding towards some kind of like harmony, whether it be in a job, in a relationship, in a new contract, right? But you're staying guarded. You just remain open. Don't stay completely closed off, right? So tell me about the Knight of Pentacles for the collective's near future, please. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Slow and steady progress. And this talks about something that you don't want to let go. And it's also saving money. So for the future, for the next year, we have slow and steady progress, and we have you building up your finances. This is also somebody who's wealthy, somebody who's generous, and who can help other people if need be. So tell me about the Lovers. Clarify the Lovers for the collective's near future. Clarify the Lovers. Thank you. Okay, so if you are manifesting your twin flame or your divine counterpart or your match, you have all the tools you need to make that happen, right? And so instead of trying to manifest a specific person, don't do that, because that will absolutely backfire on you. Just manifest your energetic match. Manifest to the universe. Let them know you're ready to meet the person you're supposed to be with, right? So you're saving money for the future. It's slow and steady progress. You may be meeting somebody new with the Lovers, could possibly be a twin flame, and you're rapidly manifesting harmony in relationships into reality. So if this isn't a romantic relationship, like you getting ready to meet somebody, then this is just you saving money and manifesting harmony within all of your relationships, whether they be romantic, platonic, business, whatever. Just harmony in your relationships. And then clarify the Nine of Wands, please. Thank you. Right, okay, so the Nine of Wands clarified by the Nine of Swords. So the Wounded Warrior clarified by stress, anxiety, fear, worry. So like I said, keep your heart open. Know that this card also talks about things not being as bad as they seem, right? So she's stressed, she's crying, but her bed's right there, her pillow's right there. It's just a bad dream. So if things aren't going your way or you're stressed out about things, just ultimately remember that they're not as bad as they seem, and that tell yourself you'll get through it. Tell yourself it'll be okay. Tell yourself that you don't have anything to worry about, because when you know that the universe always has your back, that they're always going to provide for you, just keep telling yourself, I will never be without anything I need. I will never be without, except maybe don't word it like that. Just say, you know, the universe will always provide to me everything I need. I will always have everything I need, right? So I want to get one more clarifier for that. Clarify the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. What I'll also say about this is 9-9, which is a completion of cycles, right? So a 9 is right before the 10, which is completing cycles. So this is something that's about to come to an end in the future. So this you being guarded, you being stressed out, that cycle is completing. So give me one more clarifier for the 9 of Pentacles, please. 5 of Cups. Okay. Let's see. Regret, and then one more clarifier for that. Clarify the 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, and the 5 of Cups. Please clarify, please, because I'm not understanding this. I do understand it, but I'm not, I just want to make sure before I, okay, makes sense, okay. All right, yeah, so what I'll say about this, in the next year, you're getting out of this energy, right? You're getting out of this, like, stressed out, regret, sadness, loss energy. I'm not even really picking this up as your energy. I'm picking this up as, like, past energy. So, 9 of Wands, so just, if you're guarded, that's fine, but just don't stay completely closed off, and just know that if you're going through anything, or you start to have this, like, sadness, this loss, this, like, feeling bad about things that happened in the past, that you don't need to feel that way. Because 3 of Pentacles, clarifying all this, collaborating, working together well with other people. So like the 6 of Swords, this accepting help, this transition, this moving forward, this just lets me know that if you do get into this energy where you're in this like stressed out, anxiety, sadness, regret energy, you have a community of people that you can lean on at this time. Whoever that community of people is for you, they will be there for you. So definitely feel free to reach out to them and let them know that, you know, I'm just kind of having a hard time. Maybe just can we talk or whatever. Just know that you do have a community of people that you can lean on. And then right under that, the bottom of the deck, Hierophant, Taurus's card. So you might be meeting a Taurus. That could be the person you're manifesting. Or this just talks about commitment, right? Higher levels of ascension. So tradition. So you're committing to, you know, this new community of people or relying on other people. And you're committing to, I guess, the thing that I would say is, watching the negative self-talk with the universe, right? Because the Magician is about manifesting, and you can manifest anything into your reality. That could be negative or positive. So when you get into this negative energy, when you get into this complaining, everything is not great energy, realize it, catch it, and then replace it with something positive, right? Replace it if you're like, I'm sick of being alone all the time. Just say, I'm so happy that I'm so comfortable with being with myself, and the person that I'm supposed to be with is coming soon, right? If you know that they're on the way, then they are. So this, I think, is a good place to leave this. So now what I will do is I will go ahead and get some numbers and some initials. And if you get one or both, great. If you don't get either, that's totally fine. All right, so for the numbers we have 15, 1, 4, 40, and 1. So 1111, twin flame card, Gemini. So we have 11th, the 4th, 40. You might be in your 40s, 41, 44, or the angel number 444 you might be seeing. So we have 44, we have 11, we have 15. So 1, 1, 15, 4, and 40. So you might be January, Capricorn, or Aquarius. You might be Aries, April, Taurus. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, 4. Okay, so, or possibly even 11th, which is November, or 11, November, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. All right, so now I will go ahead and pull some initials. So if you get either your initials or the initials of even your future person, come back and comment, because I'd love to know about it. All right, so for the initials we have, oh shit, B, A, V, N, excuse me, U, X, S, E, F, Z, J, another J, H, another B, another E, P, R, oops, G, another G, L, another S, another L. Let's get a couple more. Just need to hold a few more. Y, another U, wait, yeah, another U, D, W, another N, one more, another Y, and K. All right, so we have two B's, A, V, two N's, U, X, two S's, two E's, F, Z, two J's, H, P, R, two G's, two L's, two Y's, D, W, K. All right, collective, that is where I will leave this reading for you. Feel free to check back for the next one. And as always, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul.